And this is your ABC 10 News Streamline, everything you need to know in 10 minutes or less. President Trump is talking about a new trade deal this morning after his meeting with Chinese President Xi Jinping. They met overnight in South Korea for the first time since President Trump's first term. After months of back and forth between the two nations, Trump said the two leaders reached an agreement to cut tariffs on Chinese imports.
We have a deal. Now, every year we'll renegotiate the deal, but I think the deal will go on for a long time.
Tariffs on Chinese goods will drop from 57% to 47% in agreement with China to crack down on fentanyl. China will also ramp up its purchase of soybeans and other farm products from the U.S. The two countries are also softening limits on two other big items. The U.S. will allow China to buy more semiconductors, while China allows the purchase of rare earth minerals used in microchips and other tech. President Trump also ordering the Pentagon to start testing nuclear weapons again. The president wrote on social media, quote, "Because of other countries' testing programs, I have instructed the Department of War to start testing our nuclear weapons on an equal basis." The U.S. hasn't detonated a nuclear weapon since 1992. The most recent nuclear explosion was conducted by North Korea back in 2017. However, China, Russia, and the U.S. do routinely test systems and devices that are capable of carrying nuclear warheads. Hurricane Melissa is still bringing life-threatening winds and rain after hitting the Bahamas overnight. It made landfall as a Category 1 hurricane with wind speeds clocking in at about 90 miles an hour. The storm has killed at least 30 people since tearing through Jamaica, Cuba, Haiti, and the Dominican Republic. They're now dealing with severe flooding and damage to homes and businesses. The U.S. military is now sending a team to Jamaica to assess all the destruction. 70% of the country is still without power. So many people are sleeping in shelters. Hurricane Melissa is now heading near Bermuda and is expected to arrive as a Category 2 hurricane.
It is now day 30 of the government shutdown, and there's no signs of any progress towards a deal. The Senate has already taken 13 votes to reopen the government. All of those are based on the Republican plan for a clean resolution. All of them has failed as most Democrats refuse to cross the aisle. The Democrats want to extend Medicaid subsidies. Right now, 42 million Americans are poised to lose their SNAP benefits beginning in November. This will be the first time that the federal food assistance program lapses in its 60-year history. Members from both parties are pitching bills to extend those benefits, but Senate Majority Leader John Thune is blocking Democrats' latest attempt to provide the money needed. Food banks across the nation are already reporting longer lines as more Americans miss paychecks from federal furloughs and layoffs, and others lose their SNAP assistance.
I'm concerned that the numbers are going to probably double every day.
Here in California, Governor Newsom has announced National Guard troops will be deployed to help food banks keep up with demand.
I'm here outside of Walmart in National City. This is where many San Diegans come to use their SNAP benefits to buy groceries. I actually just met a woman inside who told me she didn't even know that her benefits could soon be frozen.
I just told you that they're going to be frozen on November 1st because of the government shutdown. How do you feel about that?
I don't like it at all.
Mary Sparrow was picking out grapes when I approached her. She tells me she's been receiving SNAP benefits since COVID. SNAP is a food benefit for low-income households.
I'm just going to go ahead and use it. I was going to save it for Thanksgiving, but now I guess I'll use it today.
Roughly 400,000 San Diegans rely on SNAP benefits. Until the government reopens, they, along with millions of people across the country, could have their SNAP or CalFresh benefits delayed. The U.S. Department of Agriculture says it's not legally allowed to use its emergency reserve to cover monthly benefits during a government shutdown. That reserve can only be used for emergencies like natural disasters.
What about the children? I just hope that somewhere in the situation that there can be a solution.
I spoke with the county about what recipients of SNAP benefits need to start thinking about. Here's Deputy Director Esma Elliott.
They can either call 211 or visit 211 San Diego's website to get information on local food resources that are available. And our two big food banks in town, both Feeding San Diego and the San Diego Food Bank, are also making resources available.
Esma says for those who use their EBT cards to access their benefits, they don't need to worry about their other cash benefits being affected.
So both the general relief and the CalWorks cash benefits will still be deposited on cards for November. It's just the SNAP or CalFresh food assistance benefits that will not be deposited on their cards.
Danny Miskell, ABC 10 News.
If you need groceries or other essential goods, the Interfaith Community Services and Feeding San Diego are holding an emergency food distribution today. It's at the Betty and Melvin Cohen Center on 550 West Washington. That's in Escondido. It starts at 11 and runs until 1 p.m.
A scary scheme is draining people's bank accounts, and it's being called the phantom hacker scam. The FBI says it's been around for years, but now reports of it are rising at an alarming rate. Most victims don't know it's happening until it's too late. Scripps News Group's consumer reporter Mike Brookbank shows us what to look out for.
$49, $99, 10 cents, 9 cents. And I didn't even realize that until I realized that my bank account was actually negative. And I was like, what is this going on?
Miyoko Williams is a victim of bank fraud and knows how quickly it can happen. Luckily, her bank stepped in, but not everyone is as fortunate. The phantom hacker scam has cost Americans more than $1 billion just since last year, according to the FBI. The scheme starts with a pop-up, text, or email saying there's something wrong with your computer. If you respond, criminals can download software to monitor your moves. Then you get phone calls from someone pretending to be from your bank and a supposed FBI agent.
They sound very legitimate. And when somebody believes, a victim believes that their financial accounts are in jeopardy, they're willing to take steps that they probably wouldn't take if they thought it through.
Agent Charles Johnston with the Cleveland FBI says this scam is different because criminals don't directly steal your money. They convince you to move it yourself.
They want to gain access to your accounts, or they want you to provide information and ultimately move money.
Johnston says the best defense is simple.
Don't call the phone numbers that are in pop-ups. Don't click those links in the emails.
That's all good advice. Overnight, French prosecutors say 5 more people have been arrested in connection with the Louvre robbery. It's been 11 days since thieves stole a reported $102 million worth of jewels from the museum. The heist and the ensuing manhunt has captivated France. On Wednesday, the 2 suspects that were already in custody admitted to their involvement. As of now, those crown jewels have not been found.
After an exciting start to the series, the Toronto Blue Jays walking away with last night's game against the Dodgers. They are now just 1 win away from the title. ABC 10 News Sports Director Ben Higgins has a look at all the highlights.
The Blue Jays ambushed the Dodgers in Game 5 of the World Series in L.A. Davis Schneider drove Blake Snell's first pitch of the game out of the park to give Toronto a 1-0 lead. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. followed that with another home run, the first back-to-back blast to start a game in World Series history. That was enough for rookie pitcher Trey Yesavage, who struck out 12 Dodgers en route to a 6-1 win that has the Blue Jays heading back to Toronto for Game 6 on Friday with a 3-2 series lead. I'm Ben Higgins, ABC 10 News.
That's your ABC 10 News Streamline. Everything you need to know today in under 10 minutes.